Welcome to Overtime Stories. If you're new here, take a moment to subscribe and join the journey. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and every bit of support truly means a lot.
NFL legends aren't debating Jaxon Smith-Njigba anymore. They're warning defenses about him. Around league circles, former Hall of Fame receivers, veteran corners, and longtime coordinators are all circling the same conclusion. This guy is becoming flat-out unguardable. The conversation flipped after recent game film showed Smith-Njigba consistently winning without relying on speed alone. That's what scares defenders. Speed fades, skill doesn't. Legends point out that JSN's separation comes from footwork, timing, and leverage, not just athleticism. He doesn't waste steps, he doesn't tip routes, he doesn't rush breaks. Everything is calculated. That makes coverage guesses dangerous. Corners can't sit on routes because his releases all look the same until the last second. One former Pro Bowl corner reportedly said guarding JSN feels like being late even when you're early. That's elite route running. Smith-Njigba's ability to sell vertical threats before snapping off underneath routes forces defenders to open their hips early, and once that happens, the rep is over. Defensive film study shows corners repeatedly losing balance because JSN manipulates their weight before the break. That's veteran stuff. Legends also emphasize his spatial awareness. JSN doesn't just run routes, he finds space. Zone coverage doesn't hide from him. He settles between defenders, presents clean windows, and immediately transitions upfield. That efficiency kills defensive calls. There's no wasted motion after the catch. He's already thinking 2 steps ahead. Another detail that keeps coming up is hand usage. JSN fights through contact legally, keeps his frame clean, and rarely lets defenders disrupt timing. That matters in today's physical coverage schemes. Coordinators are already altering bracket plans because single coverage is getting exposed. Double teams aren't solving it either, because JSN understands leverage and spacing too well. When legends call a receiver unguardable, they don't mean every play is a touchdown. They mean the defense runs out of answers over time. That's happening here. Smith-Njigba isn't loud, he isn't flashy, he's surgical, and that's exactly why the league is starting to panic. What really separates Jaxon Smith-Njigba, in the eyes of NFL legends, is how comfortable he looks against elite competition. Veteran defensive backs noticed early that JSN never speeds himself up to match coverage intensity. He stays on his clock. That calm forces defenders to guess, and guessing gets punished. Legends say most young receivers panic when routes get squeezed. JSN leans into pressure. He invites contact, then slips past it. His releases are clean, but more importantly, they're unpredictable. Corners rely on pattern recognition. JSN breaks patterns. That's a nightmare. Another factor driving the unguardable label is how he stacks defenders after the catch. He doesn't just catch and fall. He catches, pivots, and shields the ball with his body. That creates yards where none should exist. Missed tackles against JSN aren't about poor effort. They're about poor angles.
Sorry to interrupt, but hit that subscribe button real quick. It really helps the channel grow.
He forces defenders into bad leverage positions with subtle head fakes and shoulder dips. Legends also highlight his football IQ. JSN reads coverage on the fly, adjusting routes mid-play without drifting into chaos. That chemistry with quarterbacks doesn't happen accidentally. It's reps, preparation, and trust. Defenses hate receivers who think. Physical traits can be schemed against. Intelligence adapts. Another reason legends are high on JSN is consistency. He doesn't disappear for stretches. Even when defenses try to erase him, he impacts the game by moving chains, drawing attention, and opening space for others. That's real value. Some coordinators are already calling him coverage gravity. Wherever he lines up, defenders lean that way. That tilt creates problems everywhere else. Slot, outside, motion, stack sets, it doesn't matter. JSN wins in all of them. Legends say that versatility forces defenses to reveal intentions early, which quarterbacks love. Once coverage tips, JSN exploits it instantly. The unguardable talk isn't hype. It's defensive exhaustion. Teams don't know how to slow him without compromising something else. And in the NFL, compromises get exposed fast. Another reason NFL legends are sounding alarms is Jaxon Smith-Njigba's evolution after the catch. Early evaluations labeled him a pure route technician, but recent tape shows a receiver who's becoming dangerous with the ball in his hands. He's not juking like a track star. He's breaking tackles with balance and anticipation. Legends say JSN's ability to read pursuit angles is what makes him lethal. He doesn't run into defenders. He runs away from where they're going. That's vision, that's instinct. Those traits turn 8-yard catches into drive-changing plays. Defenders can't relax after the catch because JSN accelerates through contact instead of absorbing it. Another detail legends point out is his reliability in high-leverage moments. Third downs, red zone, 2-minute drills. That's where unguardable players separate from highlight merchants. JSN thrives there. His catch radius combined with precise timing makes him a quarterback's safety valve and first option at the same time. That dual role stresses defenses. You can't play him like a possession guy or a burner. He's both when it matters. Legends also mention his competitiveness. JSN doesn't shy away from tough coverage. He asks for it. That mentality builds trust with quarterbacks and irritates defenders. Irritated defenders get grabby. Grabby defenders draw flags. That's hidden yardage. JSN's presence is already influencing how games are officiated because defenders are constantly on edge. Another major factor is preparation. Legends respect how JSN studies film, understanding defender tendencies and exploiting them early. That preparation shows up immediately on game day. Corners feel like he knows what's coming before they do. That mental edge compounds over 4 quarters. By the 4th, defenders look tired, not just physically, but mentally. That's when JSN really eats. This isn't a breakout built on surprise. It's built on skill stacking. Every layer of his game reinforces the next. That's why the unguardable label is sticking. Defenses aren't getting fooled once. They're getting solved repeatedly. And when that happens, legends don't debate potential anymore. They recognize inevitability. NFL legends are also pointing to how Jaxon Smith-Njigba is starting to dictate defensive game plans before kickoff, and that's the true sign of an unguardable receiver. Coordinators now build coverage rules around where JSN lines up, not the other way around. When a receiver forces defenses to check coverage before the snap, the advantage already belongs to the offense. Legends say JSN's pre-snap movement is deadly. Motion across the formation exposes man or zone instantly, and once the defense tips its hand, JSN adjusts his stem to attack the weak spot. That's grown man football. Corners don't like it. Safeties hate it. Linebackers get caught in between. Another reason the panic is real is how well JSN handles physicality. Teams tried pressing him early, but that plan didn't last long. JSN's footwork off the line neutralizes jam attempts, and when defenders miss their hands, the route is already won. Legends emphasize that pressing a receiver only works if timing is disrupted. JSN doesn't let timing break. He's too precise, too patient. That patience forces defenders to overcommit, and once they do, it's over. There's also growing respect for how he blocks and sells plays without the ball. Legends notice everything. JSN's willingness to block aggressively forces defenses to respect run looks, which opens play-action lanes later. That effort doesn't show up in box scores, but it shows up on film. Defensive backs admitted privately that JSN wears them down mentally because he never takes reps off. Every snap feels live. That constant pressure creates mistakes. Mistakes create explosives. Another factor legends keep stressing is trust. Quarterbacks trust JSN to be exactly where he's supposed to be. That trust speeds up reads. Faster reads beat blitzes. Blitzes fail. When blitzes fail, coordinators get conservative. Conservative defenses lose leverage. JSN thrives in that space. The unguardable label sticks because JSN doesn't rely on one trick. He layers his game: route craft, spatial awareness, toughness, intelligence, conditioning. Each layer compounds. Defenses can take away one thing, maybe two, but not everything. And when you can't take away everything, something breaks. Right now, defenses are the ones breaking. What makes this moment feel scandalous instead of just impressive is how quickly Jaxon Smith-Njigba is climbing past expectations that were once placed on him. some early narratives questioned whether he could be a true number one option or just a high-level complement. That debate is dying fast. Legends now see a receiver who can tilt coverage, control tempo, and close games. That's number one behavior. The league is full of fast receivers. It's short on reliable dominators. JSN is becoming the latter. Analysts note that his production isn't spiking because of gimmicks or busted coverages. It's coming against prepared defenses, in key moments, with defenders knowing the ball might be coming his way. That's the hardest environment to win in. Legends respect that. Another reason the unguardable talk has legs is sustainability. JSN's game doesn't depend on raw speed that fades with age. It depends on timing, leverage, and understanding space. Those traits age well. Defenses won't outgrow him. He'll outgrow them. League insiders already view JSN as a long-term centerpiece, not just an emerging weapon. That shift matters. When legends speak this confidently, it usually means the tape has convinced them. This isn't projection, it's confirmation. Defensive coordinators can scheme around one receiver for a quarter, maybe a half. Over a full game, the cracks show. Over a season, they widen. That's what's happening now. Jaxon Smith-Njigba isn't breaking out. He's breaking frameworks. The old ways of guarding elite receivers don't apply cleanly to him. That's why the word unguardable keeps coming back. Not because he's unstoppable on every snap, but because defenses never feel comfortable. Discomfort leads to errors. Errors lead to points. Points change games. This rise isn't loud, it's relentless. The final piece that NFL legends keep stressing about Jaxon Smith-Njigba is how his presence is quietly reshaping offensive confidence across the entire unit. And that's where things cross into truly dangerous territory. When quarterbacks know they have a receiver who will win cleanly, think quickly, and protect the football, everything speeds up in the best way. Play calling opens. Protection schemes loosen. Risks become calculated instead of desperate. JSN gives offenses permission to breathe. Legends say that's the ultimate cheat code. Defensive coordinators can sense it too. When JSN lines up, coverages tighten, but tightening creates stress elsewhere. That stress shows up as blown assignments, late rotations, and miscommunication in the secondary. Those breakdowns don't always result in JSN catches, but they result in a fence-wide success. That's influence. Teams facing JSN are now spending extra meeting time just discussing how not to overreact to him. Which is ironic because overreaction is exactly what keeps happening. He forces defenders into conflict. Stay disciplined, and he beats you with patience. Get aggressive, and he beats you with timing. Sit back, and he eats underneath. Legends say there's no comfortable answer, only damage control. Another detail that stands out is how JSN handles attention. He doesn't chase stats, he doesn't force targets. He stays locked into the flow of the game. That mindset prevents defenses from baiting him into mistakes. Corners can't frustrate him into losing discipline. That emotional control is rare. Veteran defenders have tried trash talk, physical play, and baiting tactics, and none of it changes his tempo. Tempo control is power. When a receiver controls tempo, the defense is reacting every snap. Legends emphasize that JSN's rise isn't about one matchup or one scheme. It's about repeatability. He wins the same way against different defenders, different coverages, and different game plans. That consistency is what separates stars from specialists. Specialists need conditions. Stars create them. JSN is creating them now. The scandal angle comes from how long it took some evaluators to see this coming. The signs were always there. Rote-craft, intelligence, toughness. It just didn't scream viral. Now it screams inevitable. Defenses aren't shocked anymore. They're resigned. That's when a player becomes truly unguardable. Not when opponents doubt they can stop him, but when they know they probably can't. Jaxon Smith-Njigba has reached that phase. The league didn't miss it. It just took a little time to admit it. And the league is waking up to it in real time. Like the video, subscribe for more deep dives, and stay locked in as this unguardable run continues to shake defenses across the NFL.